My Lords, I want to pay tribute to Her Majesty the Queen, who in her 96th year delivered her 67th gracious speech in this place, and in a year of great loss, once again her great courage and commitment and dedication to this kingdom has been shown forth very brightly once again. And can I add my congratulations to those noble lords who have made their maiden speeches, and wish the Right Reverend Prelate every best wish on his retirement. My Lords, the gracious speech rightly began with reference to the national recovery from the terrible pandemic that we're still going through. And it is right that we should recognise that the immense success of the vaccine rollout and the enormous amount of economic and financial support that's been poured in to sustain jobs in all parts of the United Kingdom has to be acknowledged and welcomed, and the government deserves enormous credit for what it has done on both those fronts. £352 billion of economic support, supporting 1.7 million jobs, and it reinforces once again to many people across the United Kingdom the value of the Union, the value of being part of the fifth biggest economy in the world. And I would just say gently to those in Scotland and in Northern Ireland and in Wales and elsewhere who advocate separation, to reflect very strongly on where they might find themselves, were they not part of this United Kingdom, which has done so much, I believe, to rescue so many people's livelihoods at this very, very precarious time. I very much welcome, my Lords, what those parts of the Queen's speech that talk about levelling up, about strengthening the economic ties across the Union, and about ensuring that support for business reflects the United Kingdom's strategic interests and drives economic growth. And those pledges and commitments from the government in the gracious speech apply throughout the United Kingdom, and rightly so. But of course, I would be failing in my duty to the people of Northern Ireland today if I didn't reflect that many of these objectives will be hindered in their application and enforcement if the government does not rapidly deal with the problems that arise from the Northern Ireland Protocol. And there are two aspects of that: the trade disruption, the economic disruption to communities, to businesses and to people in Northern Ireland, and then to the damage that is done to the constitutional settlement and devolution as a result of the application of laws across vast swathes of the economy of Northern Ireland, for which no one in the Northern Ireland Assembly or no one in this place in either House will have any say or have any vote. And in the 22nd century, in a modern democracy, that is absolutely scandalous and cannot be allowed to endure. My Lords, yesterday, over the recent days, my Right Honourable friend Lord Frost and the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland listened to businesses and communities in Northern Ireland about the challenges of the operation of the protocol. They heard about the level and complexity of paperwork required even on goods remaining in Northern Ireland, notably in the agri-food sector. They talked about disruption to supply chains from Great Britain and consequent diversion of trade, and about the risks that are associated with the expiry of the grace periods and the introductions of even more processes as a result. At the moment, Northern Ireland carries out 2.5 times more checks on goods coming in from Great Britain than the port of Rotterdam does for the entirety of imports across the world. We carry out 20% of all the checks in the European Union, more than all French ports combined. This is, as Lord Frost said, unsustainable. It cannot operate in its current form for long, and there needs to be rapid solutions found. So I heartily endorse that call by my Right Honourable friend, because if we don't deal with these issues and don't deal with the democratic deficit which is at the heart of the protocol, then the government and all the parties in Northern Ireland are not going to be able to build the economy. And we had a wonderful vision for the Northern Ireland economy over the next 10 years set out yesterday, and I declare an interest since my wife is the Economy Minister in Northern Ireland, but she did it in part of the whole of the executive, all the parties. But we're not going to be able to fulfil that and restore democratic stability to Northern Ireland unless the issues that have arisen from the application of the protocol, for which nobody in Northern Ireland voted, are dealt with very, very swiftly.
Baroness Joly.